Coming in hot from Arizona, this is Trevor
and Troy Howard.
And you're on SoTellUs Time. You can have everything you want in your business. Sometimes you just need a little help.
Every business owner would love to charge more for their services, but sometimes you can sacrifice long-term loyalty for a short-term profit.
Creating the right rituals is key to your business having success.
Are you tired of competing with your competitors? Guess what? You don't have to compete if you create.
Hey, welcome everybody. Today is an awesome day. We are going to be talking about finding Mr. or Mrs. Right. Yeah, relationships, people. This is going to be like one of those therapy sessions, where we're just going to help you out. Because I know all you out there are looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about business. Of course, we're not going to be talking about...
I was going to say, I don't think our wives would endorse that we're the people to be talking about relationships.
Hey, I'm awesome. I found Mrs. Right.
This is true.
I know a thing or two about that. I know how to do that. All right. Okay, well, the thing about a business is when we first start it, we're very hungry. We're usually very hungry, so we're willing to take on any customer that comes our way. But we very quickly realize that taking on a customer is like a relationship. In fact, it can be very similar to a personal relationship, right? And so we then realize that we want to take on the right kind of customer. In fact, Troy always says, and I think it's hilarious, and maybe it's in your thing, so hopefully I'm not stealing it from you for later.
It's not.
Okay, good. Troy always says, business is like, doing business with somebody is like being married to them, being in a relationship with them. And if you don't want to get into bed every night pissed at that person.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to sleep in the same bed as this person that you're not happy with, right?
Absolutely.
So you want to make sure you marry the right person or get into the relationship with the right person. Okay? Which is funny because when Troy talks about that, he's talking about how the fact that we don't do any contracts in any of our business. He's like, listen, if I'm not happy with you, I want you gone. If you're not happy with me, get rid of me because I don't want to get into bed every night with you.
Exactly.
You don't want me in bed behind you whispering all night long how much I hate you.
Slowly putting the pillow over your head.
That's right. Hot boxing them every night just to be mean. All right, Troy, jump in and let's talk about finding that Mr. or Mrs. Right when it comes to customers.
All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about what you should watch out for. Like right at the beginning, when you're trying to make that decision of, should I do business with this customer, right? What should you be looking out for? So we're going to give you some examples. Of course, this is not everything, but it's going to get the juices flowing.
Yep.
And one of the first things you should look out for is people that asked for big discounts up front.
Oh, they're the worst. Like, and we're not talking about like, oh, they got your flyer.
Right.
We're just talking about those people that come in and are just from the get-go, I don't do this, or I don't pay this, or I'm not paying for that, that kind of thing. Or can't you give me a better deal on this? And da-da-da-da.
And again, we have worked with tens of thousands of businesses over the last 22 years.
Yes.
And I can tell you, straight up, completely honest here, any customer that we gave a giant discount to in the beginning was one of the worst customers we have ever dealt with. Oh my gosh.
Or like, for instance, we would do we'd have, and we didn't do this, but people would be like, can I make payments? Can I do this where I make payments over time? Every time we did that, that was a pain in the butt. And they were a pain in the butt.
Yes. So we learned that's one of the red flags. When someone asks for that right up front, then we're not interested in doing business with them. Another one is when people ask you for volume discounts now with the promise of volume work in the future.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest tricks out there.
Oh.
And it's like, oh,
I'm going to bring you so much business.
Yep.
Like, and you've probably experienced this. We do all the time.
All the time.
But it's like, even in your businesses and industries, I guarantee someone's like, oh, I'm going to tell all my friends and family. So if you give me a phenomenal discount now, I'm going to get you so much business that this is going to just make you so much money. They're so full of crap is what they are.
Yeah, we've done this in our business, and we got to the point where, again, we're learning. We learned, and we finally just said, okay, I'll tell you what. When you hit this volume, man, we're going to give you this amazing discount.
Yeah. Or how about for everyone you bring us, that's great. You're going to pay normal price, but for everyone that you bring us, you're going to get this back or X amount on your next service or whatever. And it's funny how quickly they start to flounder.
Yes.
Exactly. I thought you were going to bring me people right away. So many.
Yep. So that's another one to watch out for.
In fact, in our business, I've had my sales guys, because we deal with a lot of affiliates, right?
Yeah.
And we love our affiliates. They're awesome. We got some really amazing affiliates out there. And if you're listening and you're one of our affiliates that really doesn't do much, well, then jump on board and get something done, brother.
Yes.
Get a hold of Nick or somebody to help you out. But the thing is, with affiliates, we do get that all the time, where these guys will come in and they'll be like, these girls will come in and, hey, I'm going to bring you 1,000 people. I'm going to bring you 100,000 people. I mean, literally, I had a guy sit there and tell me, flew in and spent 3 days of my life with me, telling me how he's going to bring me 100,000 customers, blah, blah, blah. And so the new answer is, look, my owners bring in 100 new clients a month. So until you can bring in more than 100 clients a month, we're not even going to consider any kind of anything.
Yeah. So,
and it's funny how people quickly fall apart with that comment right there. So we're just come up with ways to make sure that, you're stopping that from the get-go. Make them put up or shut up.
Exactly. Another one is people who want you to change or modify your services for their individual needs. It's like, I mean, I like what you do, but what I really want is I just need you to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And that's not what you normally do. Because if it's not what you do, then it's probably not the right client for you.
Yeah. And if there's someone else out there that does that, they should go find them, and you shouldn't try to sell them. Let them go. And even worse, and more often, I feel like, you already know your competitors and stuff. And these people a lot of times are asking for something that no one offers.
Yes.
And that's why they're coming to you and asking for it, because they've already looked and they can't find it.
Yeah. And that actually rolls right into the next one, which is people who want you to add a service that you don't currently provide.
Yeah.
Because like what Trevor said is perfect. A lot of times they've already talked to your competitors. Your competitors have said no.
Yeah.
Because they know that that's not a good fit for their business.
That's right.
And now this person's coming to you. So don't be tempted to add a service that might not be a good fit for your business just to take on that client.
Yep.
All right. Here's another one. People who are difficult right from the start.
Yeah, totally.
Now, I want you to think about, like, back in the day, you're going on a date. What did you do, right? You got all dressed up. You made sure everything was prim and proper. You made sure you smell good. You got the gum in your mouth.
Yep.
You picked the best, restaurant. People tend to be on their very best behavior in the beginning of a relationship.
Absolutely.
So if they are already difficult, if they are not even a client yet, and they're already difficult, they're going to be 10 times more difficult down the road.
Absolutely.
So that's your sign right there. They're not, in 22 years, I have never seen a client get better in the long run if they were difficult right in the beginning.
Yeah. Nope. Exactly. And it's funny, I actually saw like a little meme or reel or something the other day where this guy was like, when you pick a girl up for a first date and she brings her friend and they're both sitting at the table and they're just pounding back drinks.
Oh no.
And he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, I'll be right back. And then leaves and leaves them with the bill, because he's just like, from the get-go, that's the worst date ever right there. You know, same thing with business. If a customer is super difficult from the get-go, do not be afraid to refund them their money and walk out. Be done with them. Walk away. It is not worth the hassle. You can go and replace them with 3, 4, 5, 10 great clients.
Yeah, I remember the first time we ever did that, where we actually refunded the money back. And I was like, oh, this hurts so bad. But I quickly realized it didn't hurt as bad as continuing to work with the clients.
No, I mean, there's times where I didn't sleep at night.
Yes.
Because of clients. Like, I couldn't even sleep. And I was so anxious and angry. And But when I just got to the attitude of like, you know what? I'm going to refund you. Here's your money. And we're parting ways. See you later, sucker.
Yeah.
I feel so much better. I feel so much better. And a lot of times I can tell you, at least in our industry, our business, these people actually just shape up.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it is, I would say it's less often that I actually just refund them their money and say, go away. That they actually fight to stay a client and become a better client. So,
yep.
Yeah.
All right. And the last one under what you should watch out for is people that start off by just complaining about your competitors or other businesses.
Yeah.
Like if they just start off the relationship complaining,
yeah.
even if it's not about you.
So-and-so. Like we get people that are like, I was using so-and-so, which is your competitor, and they're the worst, and they did this, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, what do you think they're going to say about you?
Yeah. Exactly. Now, if you know your competitor's really, really bad, sure. and you're like, okay, all of that makes sense and jives.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you can let that slide a little bit. But if your competitor's pretty good and they're just destroying them, be wary.
I mean, we've actually done research and come to find out that like these kind of clients that were complaining about our competitors, like hardcore, they didn't pay their bill.
Yeah.
They weren't paying their bill for like 6 months, and the competitor continued to provide them service and all this stuff. Like the client was the nightmare, not the competitor.
So watch out for that. Yeah. Okay. Now, what should you be looking for in a client? So you want to focus on people that focus on the relationship versus the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're like, yeah, I really, I like to have a long-term relationship and I'm excited to work with you, and it's not just about the transaction, that's a good sign.
Now, one caveat to that, be careful, because you will get the people that are like, I like the long-term relationship and I like to refer people and I like to, be just like, I'm going to be the best client you've ever had. So give me this fat discount. If they end it with give me this fat discount.
Yes.
Beep, to the curb.
Exactly. That's why I made sure I added the discount people at the top and this down below.
Totally. Because
Trevor's exactly right. They can sound like the very same person, but when they're asking for the discount, then you need to be concerned.
Yep.
The other thing is people that are more concerned. You want to look for people that are more concerned with the quality of your work than they are about the price.
Absolutely.
The people who care about the service that they're going to get are the right type of client. If they're just concerned about the price, then there's probably no loyalty there, and you're not going to get much out of them.
You get what you pay for is a saying for a reason.
Exactly. You also are looking for people that have used a service like yours before.
Mm-hmm.
So now, again, that doesn't mean you don't want people that have never used, never had their carpets cleaned. That's, disqualify them. But if they've used a service like yours before, then there's a good chance that they understand and they have a realistic expectation of what they're going to get. But those first-time users, they may have a totally unrealistic expectation. They may think, that you're going to make their 20-year-old carpet look brand new when that's just not possible.
Right.
Right? So it's good to look for people that have used the service before if possible. Also, people that truly understand the service and and the value that you're providing with that service. So that's really important too. Like if they don't see a value in what you do, then they may not be a great client. But if they see the value and they're like, oh my gosh, like I love this and I love how my house looks after it's cleaned and it saves me so much time having a cleaner, that's the right client.
That's right.
Right? And then this is my favorite one. People that are genuinely positive and happy.
Totally.
Like you can tell when you talk to someone for a little bit, you can usually tell, are they a positive person? Are they happy?
Yeah.
Like if they're not a positive person, if they're negative and they are unhappy, they may not be the right person.
Yeah.
They may be difficult to work with, but if they're positive and happy and excited, then that's a good way to start the relationship.
Totally.
And here's my other thing that I always ask myself is, would I hang out with this person in my free time? And I know that sounds weird because you're like, look, I'm just cleaning their carpets for a couple of hours and then I'm out the door.
Yeah.
And it's like, yep.
And you may think, I don't care what their personality is like, but you will when it comes to paying that bill.
Exactly. So that's always a good one for me. Is like, could I stand to be around this person?
And in
for a
our
long period of
business,
time?
it's like our clients become our family.
Yes.
We go to events where we get to interact with our clients. We get to see our clients. I mean, I can't tell you how many absolute amazing relationships we have created.
Yeah.
Where I call these people my sister or my brother. They are honorary Howards. They are our family from doing business together.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep. So that's my last thing is like, I just asked myself that question. So think about that as well. All right. Anything you want to add, Trevor, before we go to the homework?
I love it. Let's jump into the homework. Take a look at your current clients and decide if you need to break up with any of them and put a checklist in place to vet your potential clients going forward. So you need to just figure out which one of your clients, if any of them, you want to divorce. You just go get rid of them. You just say, I'm not doing business with you anymore. You're just too difficult.
Yes.
All right. And then I agree. You need to be able to kind of put something in place to vet potential clients. And I know for some of my, younger yeared business owners that are wearing all the hats, like I feel you, brother and sister, you want to take everybody.
Yes.
You just want the money. You need the money. You want to feed your families. You want to do this. And that's okay. That's okay. But you will save yourself a lot of headache learning this quickly.
Yeah.
And even to a maybe smaller degree, maybe you're not as picky.
Yeah.
Right? But of being able to avoid those really, truly horrible potential clients will save you all the headache in the world, and you'll be able to sleep at night, and you'll enjoy getting up and going to work every day, right?
Absolutely.
All right, and then you won't work a day in your life because you'll love what you're doing, right? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I work every day, and I do love what I do, but I still work every day real hard. All right, everybody, we love you so much. We appreciate you. We will check you guys on the next episode of SoTellUs Time.